actually forgetting to invest in your core categories, in your core business, in your core riders. And you can't do that. I mean, every brand has to maintain its core.
Harley-Davidson, the iconic American motorcycle manufacturer, has long stood as a symbol of freedom, rebellion, and American craftsmanship. Its gleaming chrome frames and roaring engines have captured the spirit of the open road, resonating not just across the United States but globally. Yet, in a move that stunned many, Jochen Zeitz, the CEO of Harley-Davidson, has announced that the company will be leaving the United States and moving its operations abroad. This dramatic shift in corporate strategy came shortly after the newly elected U.S. President Donald Trump implemented sweeping tariffs on key trade partners, triggering an immediate and aggressive retaliation from those countries. The trade war that ensued made it too expensive for Harley-Davidson to continue its global business while operating from the United States. Before we start, smash the like and subscribe buttons for more updates. The tariffs introduced by the Trump administration were framed as a bold move to protect American industries from what was described as decades of unfair trade practices. These levies targeted a wide range of imported goods, from steel and aluminum to components essential for high-end manufacturing. While the objective was to reinvigorate domestic production and incentivize American companies to rely less on foreign goods, the ripple effects were immediate and severe. For a company like Harley-Davidson, which depends heavily on global supply chains and international sales, the increased cost of doing business was unsustainable. Harley-Davidson's motorcycles are sold in over 100 countries. While the brand has always celebrated its American roots, its business model has long depended on being able to competitively price its products for a global audience. European markets in particular have been a critical part of Harley-Davidson's revenue, and the European Union's retaliatory tariffs on American motorcycles served a crushing blow. These new trade barriers significantly increased the cost of exporting bikes from the U.S. to key international markets, slashing demand and threatening the company's long-term viability. The impact of these policies was not confined to international sales. Harley-Davidson also sources many of its components from overseas suppliers. With tariffs now inflating the price of imported parts, the cost of manufacturing motorcycles within the United States skyrocketed. Instead of absorbing those costs or passing them on to consumers, which would risk pricing themselves out of the market, the company made the hard decision to shift production to countries with more favorable trade conditions. This wasn't a decision made lightly. It represented a profound shift in a company that has branded itself as fundamentally American, with decades of history rooted in the Midwest. Jochen Zeitz's decision signals a moment of reckoning for American manufacturing in an era of global trade friction. While the tariffs were designed to protect domestic jobs, their unintended consequence for Harley-Davidson was the opposite. The company now faces the logistical challenge of relocating operations, which includes not only physical infrastructure, but also workforce retraining, regulatory navigation, and establishing new supplier networks. This transition comes at a substantial cost, but is seen internally as a necessary move to preserve the company's future. Moving operations abroad allows Harley-Davidson to avoid many of the new costs associated with the U.S. tariffs and their retaliatory counterparts. By shifting production to countries with more stable trade relations, the company can maintain price competitiveness in global markets and continue to deliver the quality and performance that customers expect. This is not a simple outsourcing decision, but a comprehensive relocation strategy that includes manufacturing, assembly, and possibly some aspects of research and development. The ramifications of this move stretch far beyond Harley-Davidson itself. It acts as a barometer for other American companies that rely on international trade. Many firms are now watching closely, assessing their own vulnerabilities under the new trade regime. If a company as emblematic as Harley-Davidson feels compelled to leave the U.S., it sends a powerful signal to other manufacturers grappling with similar pressures. This could mark the beginning of a broader trend where companies reconsider their base of operations in light of shifting geopolitical and economic landscapes. Domestically, the decision could have significant economic and political fallout. In the regions where Harley-Davidson has maintained major facilities, thousands of workers are likely to be affected. These aren't just assembly line jobs. They encompass engineering, logistics, quality control, and administrative roles. The economic ecosystems that surround these facilities, including suppliers, maintenance providers, and local businesses will also feel the impact. For local communities, the departure of such a major employer can be devastating, both economically and psychologically. Harley-Davidson's exit also ignites a fierce debate about the effectiveness of protectionist economic policies. While such measures may aim to level the playing field and reduce dependency on foreign imports, they can also isolate domestic businesses from the global economy. The modern industrial landscape is deeply interconnected, with components and expertise often flowing across multiple borders before a product reaches its final form. Interrupting that flow through trade barriers can lead to unintended and damaging consequences for the very companies these policies are meant to protect. There is a cultural dimension